In nature, there are different types of nutrient cycles. Some examples are the oxygen cycle, carbon cycle, the water cycle. We'll learn about those in more detail later in the year. Organisms take in nutrients when they die. Decomposition returns those nutrients to the environment, and all of the different nutrient cycles work in that way. In nature, energy is also transformed from one form to another. In organisms, energy is stored in the bonds of organic molecules. This is chemical energy. When energy is required to do work, the bonds are broken and the chemical energy is converted to kinetic energy, which is the energy of motion. When energy is converted, some of it is lost as heat. Structure and function is a major theme in biology. An organism's structure determines its function, and the structure of something is determined by its function. A folded membrane increases surface area for more function. If more function is required, a folded structure is favored. This is the mitochondria, who has a folded membrane inside, so more cellular respiration and more energy can be produced. All living things have DNA, which is deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA is the molecule that codes for life. It's passed from parent to offspring. An area of DNA that codes for a trait or a protein is called a gene. All of the DNA in an organism is a genome. An organism regulates its internal environment mainly with negative feedback. Negative feedback occurs when a change happens. It triggers a response that counteracts the initial change. What this basically does is that it keeps different things in your body within a very short range, so they don't go out of that range, which would result in you being sick. An example would be a rise in body temperature. When your body temperature goes up, your body does things to cool you down, like sweating. In a few instances, positive feedback occurs in organisms. However, the body maintains itself mainly through negative feedback. But positive feedback triggers a response that amplifies the change. An example is childbirth. As the baby bears down on the cervix, it causes greater contractions, which pushes the baby down harder. As the baby pushes down harder on the cervix, it causes even greater contractions. This cycle continues until the baby is born. So positive feedback amplifies a change that gets bigger and bigger until it results in some type of endpoint. I've mentioned the theory of evolution. In science, a theory is an explanation that is broad and is supported by a lot of factual evidence. Science often uses models to represent something in nature. Models can be digital, mathematical, 3D, a picture, or even a mental image. Technology is the application of science. It can include simple devices or complex computers, and obviously is an integral part of studying any science, including biology.